Sitting on a Sussex hillside on a warm English summer afternoon is hardly the place or the time to be thinking in terms of perhaps of a national disaster. But that's what these people are. These are members of the Crawley Amateur Radio Club, taking part in an international competition in radio communication. The idea is partly to enable them to pit their skills against the other 200 British clubs involved, but partly also the thought that if Britain's communications were ever shattered, possibly by an attack of some sort, this sort of training could make the radio amateurs capable of setting up quick, on-the-spot radio stations within a few hours. Mr. Vaughan, I believe you're the secretary of this club.
That is so, yes.
Can you tell me how the competition's being conducted?
Well, we, in common with many other clubs all through the country, are setting out to make as many contacts as we can during the 24-hour period of the competition. We have, in fact, 5 hours to set up our stations, and after this time we have to operate continuously for a period of 24 hours.
That means manning the switchboard throughout the night, does it?
You could put it like that, yes. In fact, we have some 2 or 3 operators on duty in each of the stations for the whole period of the contest.
Well, at the end of this 24 hours, Mr. Vaughan, how will the winner be chosen?
Well, this depends on a rather complicated scoring system, which basically means that the station which has made the most contacts during the 24 hours period of the contest will in fact have won. But this scoring system, of course, takes account of the distance covered by the contacts. For instance, a contact with a station in Australia would count for more points than a contact with another club in this country.
Can you really pick up Australia with this lot?
Yes, indeed, we can. We can make contacts with nearly anywhere in the world, dependent, of course, on conditions at the time.
This setup that you've got here reminds me rather of the kind of thing you sometimes see the Royal Corps of Signals putting up.
Well, yes, this is true, but of course we have used, intentionally of course, materials which come very much more to hand in the home. Our aerials are erected on ordinary domestic ladders, and we've used ordinary garden canes, insulation tape, just ordinary aerial wire, the sort of thing that anybody could obtain. It's not specially constructed with the object of portable operation in mind. We just take the materials at hand and make up what we require.
So it's pretty cheap, really?
Yes. The average amateur radio station, of course, makes nearly all his own equipment, although there are quite a lot of people these days who are now able to buy commercial equipment.
Can I interrupt you a minute?
Yes, surely.
Who was that, in fact, calling?
That was G3KEA.
Is that an English station?
A British station, yes.
British.
But we're hoping to have some farther afield.
Have you got any further afield this afternoon?
Yes, we've had Singapore at Kuala Lumpur. We've had Belgium stations and French stations.
Just now, I believe you interrupted some conversation between an Israeli and a Japanese.
Yes, the Israeli was working the Japanese, but unfortunately we couldn't break in at all. But we're going to look for them later.
How long, in fact, have you been what they call, I believe, a ham?
About 6 years.
What are the kind of most spectacular links that you've been able to make on your own set? Well,
it's always very nice to get along right to the distant parts of the Earth. But I think Italy, southern part of Italy, on lower frequencies, and believe it or not, the Channel Islands on VHF.
During the course of this exercise, roughly how many contacts can you expect to make?
Roughly 180.
In 24 hours?
In 24 hours.
And they will span, what, the whole globe?
All over the world.